I want to ask you about today's developments. It didn't take a day for the New South Wales Premier to get her way. Maybe it's the powers of persuasion, I don't know. Maybe she had plenty of brownie points stored, but she's got her way.
She has. The Premiers, as we know, wield a very strong hand in all of this, and Gladys Berejiklian is a formidable woman, as you know. But I think that, that there is difficulty looming for both federal and state level because of this amount of fear, which doesn't seem to be going away and is completely out of proportion to the actual danger right now. I mean, as you say, we've had, 2,400 odd cases this year of COVID. That's quite a lot of cases and just one death. And yet in people's minds, it's far worse than that. You know, 21% think we've had 500 deaths or more.
That is amazing.
And only in this survey, 19% get it right. Yeah, look, it's a reflection of the fear, Chris. And this is the problem for the government as it changes gear, as it moves into looking to open up the economy, that even with a very high rate of vaccination, the experience overseas shows us there will be a level of COVID in the community. But providing we've done all we can, particularly for the old and the vulnerable, anybody over 70 should certainly have both jabs as soon as possible. Providing we're keeping those safe, we can live with COVID for the age groups that aren't so much at risk. And the interesting thing about these surveys is that they show that young people are actually most fearful, and yet they're the ones, of course, as we know, far less at risk of death, in fact, close to zero risk of death if you're under 50 than the older cohorts.
Can I also take apart some more of that data? It sees that 2 in 5 Australians want a lockdown for the average winter flu now. They see that lockdowns are somehow, you know, the magic recipe.
Yeah, this is particularly alarming, I thought. I mean, True North pointed out to them, True North Strategy pointed out in their question that there were, 310,000 cases of flu in 2019, particularly bad flu season, and more than 800 deaths. They said in the event that sort of flu outbreak happened again, which incidentally received very little news coverage at the time, as you recall.
Yeah.
Would they lock down? And almost 3 out of 5. Sorry, I'll get that right. 40% said yes, lockdown for flu. And again, it's the younger people amongst the under 34 group, the 19 to 34 group. Almost half want to lock down in the case of flu. And look, Chris, the point about this is there's a cost to all this. There's a cost. There's a benefit, sure, but you've got to weigh the benefit against the cost of lockdown. And as you pointed out in your editorial, the rise in the number of suicides, in the number of business bankruptcies is simply scary. And at some point, we have to recognise that we have to balance cost against the benefit. And I think that we're way out of kilter on this, and the fear that people now have, which is helped, I think, by the actions of some politicians, not all of them, in stoking this fear, is going to make it very hard to get people to accept a rational policy that balances those risks and rewards.
You have repeated that argument over and over again, but that poll survey provides the evidence. It's quite remarkable. Nick Cater, thank you very much for your time.